Closing is really a means to an end. It's just a golden handcuffs. It's a hamster wheel.
Every time, without doubt, you get a guy to like 60K, 80K a month. And the first month they make it, they're like, I'm done with closing.
I was definitely very conflicted. I just look at the money. Oh, fuck, I can make way more money closing.
Yeah.
I can always go back to closing. It's a two-way door. Managing with this offer and the opportunity I had was a one-way door.
What is it that actually got you to kind of make the change?
I think the thing that I personally realized, and you helped me with this, it was like...
What have you been up to with the accounts?
Yeah, so on the current account I'm on, went through a bit of a rebrand. So it was really cool to be part of that process. I was learning a bit of like the marketing side as well and what goes into the funnels, VSL.
Yeah.
Because my background is obviously sales, closing, and then management. So sales team. But then on top of that, working on like a different offer as well, like a new one, which has been exciting.
For context, like I don't know if anyone else knows, but how do we know each other? And like let's walk through the whole journey from you.
So for me, I was just a classic like young hustler. I wanted to make money online somehow. Tried drop shipping, affiliate marketing, crypto. Got scammed in crypto. Done the whole thing, right? Yeah. Landed into high ticket sales through my twin brother, because we were both running agencies at the time.
Okay, he got into closing first?
No, we were both running agencies at the time, and we said whichever agency sticks, we do. He at the time he was working way hard, and he's like, my constraint is sales. You need to learn sales, and he like referred me through another guy, Leo Moore. And I joined that sales coaching program. So from there, it was like a rough 4 months of not making any money. Classic. And then, landed my first offer, or I got my first interview with Caleb.
With Caleb?
Caleb was the first guy I actually interviewed. And then, he just asked me, I had no idea. I was super upfront with my experience. I was like, I got no experience. I'm just looking to get into space. Yes. And then, he told me about you. I didn't know much about you, but he said you worked in the military, or you were in the military. Yeah. And then, we got onboarded. I was supposed to be setter, right, at first?
I think so. Did I interview you for setter? And then...
My interview was for setting,
You blew me away.
So I can't remember what happened, but I guess I got closing.
Yeah. And then, what did you think of, I guess... Because, like, really what I want to discuss today is, like, how you kind of made the transition. Because I think there's plenty of videos out there of guys' experience with closing, right? Yeah. And... So, like, I guess, what was it that actually made you consider, for context, you got really good at closing on the account that I was running, and then you went off with, obviously, with Scale Smart, Crush there. Yeah. But what is it that actually got you to kind of make the change? Because, like, I think a lot of guys out there are probably making enough money in closing that it's hard for them to actually break out. It's like golden handcuffs.
You mean from closing to management?
Yeah, because it's like golden handcuffs for a lot of guys. Like, they probably could do it, but then they look at the numbers they're probably going to earn in the beginning, and only maybe some of the guys that are a bit more mature and long-term thinking about it are actually going to do it. I think there's probably a lot of guys that would be good at it. So what is it that got you to actually think about making that change? Yeah, well, it was definitely a long period. I know I was talking to you a lot. I was definitely very conflicted. So I'm definitely more of an impatient guy, or at least I was back then. Yeah. I just look at the money. Oh, fuck, I can make way more money closing. Yeah. And not just through the current offer I was on. I actually, at the time, because I did like a speech for a mastermind and it was on Twitter and stuff. Oh, yeah. So I had offers landing to me, like, trading ones and whatnot, like for US, for closing. Yeah, yeah. Which the OTE was way more than what I would have made initially as a manager. I remember being like, yo, this is kind of shit. Like, fuck, why would I do that? Yeah. But then I think the more you realize, and to be honest, it's not that I got bored of closing or I was like fully over it, but I could definitely start to feel I had less of a passion. Really? I was less stimulated by it. Like, when you do the same pitch for the 700th time, it just doesn't give you that same feeling. True. I get that feeling now at the casino, that's a side note. But when it comes to that, so that was the first thing. But also the second thing I realized, just from not my personal experience, but from other guys in the space. Yeah. Closing is really a means to an end. It's just a golden handcuffs. It's a hamster wheel. Like, you earn good money. You get good fucking aura, whatever you want to call it. All that bullshit. But you're only limited by your next calendar slot. And if you stop working, you don't have any like point of leverage. Yeah. And then offers end up going to shit for whatever reason, or, marketing goes up and down. So it's not as consistent as you want it. Yeah. And then when I realized that, I think the thing that I personally realized, and you helped me with this, it was like, I can always go back to closing. True. It's a two-way door. True. As you said. Yes. Managing with this offer and the opportunity I had was a one-way door, which, if it all went to shit, worst case scenario, I would just go back to closing. Yeah. It'd take me any day. Many offers would just take me any day because of my track record. But when I realized that,
I thought, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because also it can allow you to do more things beyond closing to increase your income.
Yes.
And your skills.
I think another thing as well is like after, because like the only guys I really coach, right, are guys that are doing at least say 20, 30K a month. If I do any sales coaching, it's like an ad hoc basis. And it's funny, every time, without doubt, you get a guy to like 60K, 80K a month. And the first month they make it, they're like, I'm done with closing.
Yeah.
Ironically, you'd think they're like, all right, I'm going to sit on this gravy train for the next 12 months, forever. But almost every time without fail, a closer gets to like the income they've always dreamed of. And then they're like, I can't be doing this forever.
Yeah, that was me straight at 30K. I was already like, yo, I'm done with this.
Yeah. I think it's also, I think what I noticed with you as well is you saw that we were like relatively early in terms of like you didn't really see a lot of guys doing sales management that well, and you thought,
but you were the only one, honey.
Yeah, and we can move on this like pretty well. And I remember you came to Dubai. What was it, 2 years ago?
No, it was last year. It was
last year?
Sorry, 2024.
Damn.
And November 2024. I remember messaging you because I knew you were in Dubai. I was like, thank you. Obviously,
we had a secret meeting.
Yeah, that was that meeting like changed so much. I remember it was like I was living in downtown, right by the Burj, and you were here in the marina. And then we stayed for long. And I remember I had like sales calls the next day at like literally, bro. I had a team meeting at fucking like 3 a.m. Dubai time. And I think we stayed out till like 12, like 11, 12.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, do you have to go? I was like, nah, man, all good. But I was like getting so much value.
Yeah, that's right. We were at Smoky Beach or something like that.
Rixton, I think.
Rixos?
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
I think we were at Smoky Beach. I think I recall.
The one across from Casa.
We went to Luigia for dinner. We went for pizza.
No, that was the second time, bro.
Was it?
No, it was by.
For the cigar, the first time.
Oh well, fuck, I can't remember.
Yeah, and I just remember you brought your laptop, or I brought my laptop. Was that the first time?
No, that was like the last time. That's that was when I came back in January. I went back to Australia, then came back. And
we had the discussion, and you were like, kind of just like on the fence about we looked at your income on one side or something like that, and then
that was at the end.
Management, and what do you think that it was that like, because if all the numbers made sense that you would stay in closing at least in the short term would make you more money, what did you think? Yeah, on like that day, what did you think was like, okay, I'm actually going to do this?
I think I kind of knew. It's kind of like, and here's the thing, I always say this to my sales rep, you're kind of your own prospect in a way. It's like, fuck, I would have to think about it. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Money's nice. Who doesn't like money? I like spending money. I like nice things, right? I think I realized that, and you helped me with this, it's like, let's say, because the opportunity cost of me not closing was literally like 20, 30K a month. Mm-hmm. So I'd be technically, from the opportunity cost standpoint, losing that.
Okay, yeah.
I had savings, thankfully, and I was responsible enough to like have a run rate. But I think I realized like, would I really care? Like in the grand scheme of things, in like 3 years' time, would I actually care if I lost 20K a month?
Yes.
Which is, you'd probably think, I fucking would care, which, I did a little bit. But I think when I looked at the bigger picture and a longer term horizon, like at least I tried something and I cashed my chips back in. You always have to keep taking risks to level up. Otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant and comfortable.
Yeah. Or you want to just follow the trend once it's proven by everyone else. And by then it's saturated.
That's compared, which I'm starting to see now with sales managers as
but
well.
now you've got
I've got like a track record.
You've got such a good track record and such a strong case study, and you built so much goodwill in-house.
Yeah.
That, and what's basically you just went from closing to managing with the account. We can talk about all of that, but ultimately, what's the, if you're cool with discussing it, what's the agreement you're on now with your thing?
I got fat equity stake. Yeah,
okay.
A very
cool. So you literally are part of the growth of the business, like on all levels, not just like. Yeah,
from I was the very first sales rep closer.
Yeah.
Doing it. We were super low scale.
Yeah.
Top closer the whole way throughout until we hit $1 million. Actually, no, I managed the month before we hit like $1 million a month.
Yeah.
We did that twice.
So you now have that on your track record.
Yeah.
$1 million a month. So. And now it's like you still have all of the track record of closing. Yeah. And if you ever want to, you're gonna like be. I just know you're gonna be wildly successful with OBI, with the account, once you build that up. And then in future, you have the track record to either work with someone else of that magnitude, or you can just build your own business.
Yeah.
Which is like what I've done.
100%. Yeah.
So I'd say what is if you before you went into management, like what did you think it was gonna be like? For example, like. If you know Davin
Choi,
yeah, he thought it was going to be just babysitting, and I think he realized it was very different. And then like we worked together and he obviously got good results, but it was just very different to the way you thought it was. So like, what do you think that you saw it as, or was it exactly as you expected?
I think it was more than what I expected than probably like Davin.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was managed under you. So I kind of knew like roughly what you were doing. Also, I was managed by my previous offer owner as well.
Yeah.
And he had a different sort of style of managing, but I had a bit of an expectation. But to be honest, before I even messaged you in Dubai, I was still closing and there was no management opportunity. Remember, I chatted to you first of like, yo, I want to be a manager. I think I want to be a manager. And then you kind of like helped me look, or I don't know, you didn't even necessarily like help me like try and close my offer on it, but it just sort of happened after like a month of me in Dubai.
That happens a lot. Guys ask
the
me,
universe,
they manifest it.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, the universe was fucking crazy. But
okay.
So yeah, I thought it'd be fairly similar. I think the thing that I didn't realize is what goes behind the scenes from a like business perspective. This was like random bullshit coming up, like personal things from sales reps, offer owner going on holiday. Like those are things as a closer, you're very selfish, you're very individualistic. So like me, close. Do I have enough calendars? Oh, sorry, do I have enough like bookings?
I think one thing that a lot of guys, they realize is different is that they kind of think they're just going to go in there, and a lot of guys unfortunately do this. Like a lot of guys try to freelance and wing it, and they just assume, because they're probably quite good at closing. That they're just going to go in there and impregnate all of the reps on accounts with whatever they seem to know. One, coaching is a skill.
Yes, for sure.
It's different to closing. Now, do you need to be good at closing to coach? I think so. But does it mean you're going to be? No, because coaching is a skill in and of itself. To be able to take like unconscious competence, right? That of how good you probably were and actually understand what like makes you better than everyone else and turn that into coaching assets. I think that's one part, is that guys, their coaching doesn't land like it did for themselves. And the other side is obviously data and decision making.
100%,
Yeah, which is like really critical for what we did. But I think
crazy,
I think that, and I think also another one I see pretty much in every case when clients come on with me is that they assume probably a lot of guys just start working with me because they ultimately they can see the track record and they're like, okay, whatever he's doing, it's going to work for us. But they do also assume that they'll say like their ramping process. They assume it's already like pretty decent, and then they come and they realize like it's all a system. I think that's one thing. I just remember when we started working together, there's just no complacency. Do you remember when I showed you your lead to booking or something? Was
I didn't have any.
And you were like, oh yeah, it's fine, because you guys were crushing. You guys were like,
we were printing.
We were putting things in place, and you guys were just going only one direction. And then we had like the lead to booking or something. I said, yeah, you need to address this for these things. And you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I didn't have the scope of like what was good or like what a good standard was.
I think you had a great experience with your account, especially as a first account to manage, because you built real value in it. You did what we discuss all the time about negative ROI management, which is like you put a lot of goodwill in first before you actually got paid what you deserved. So it allowed you to prove yourself. And then it started going up, and you got the experience of an account that just can't lose, where you weren't, but you could be an average manager on a fantastic account.
I was at the beginning. I think I was lost as shit, right?
But we were, we had the systems in place. We were learning. Like, I think you were learning. That said, it was only in one direction, right? And then we hit the sort of the BizOp, what do you call it? The back nine of a BizOp, or the last, the sunset of like a lot of BizOps, right? Like it gets like maybe their fifth year if they haven't recycled the mechanism or something, or they haven't updated something, and it got a lot more difficult. But I think in the end, that's probably one of the most valuable experiences that you had.
It was a great lesson. I think I'm very grateful. I had to level up because I remember, I would stop. I was getting so complacent. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking insane. I'm cracked. Like,
you bring a rep on, they can't lose.
And then I thought like common denominator is me, right? But then I think the more I realized like, no, everything was going well, and
that's the thing.
But I had no idea what I was doing back then.
I think that's why like now, if you ever went and managed another account, it doesn't matter where it was at, because you probably dealt with a more difficult situation.
Yeah.
Whereas some other guys, they might have like been I see it a lot where the guy's a manager. He got promoted from closer, say, or top setter, and they're basically just kind of like glorified VAs. They just do exactly what the CEO says. They don't make any executive decisions. They don't really know why they're doing what they're doing. They just told you, fire this guy, fix this guy, and they just play the hiring lottery and just use people as a means to finding performance as opposed to coaching.
Yeah.
But it's because they never actually had to work their way out of a difficult situation with people.
100%. This is what I hear from people I know or people that have been managed by me, if they've been on previous offers beforehand, or even on new offers for whatever reason. They say that, like, you know, they're just kind of, like you said, in a way, glorified VAs. They kind of just like run a meeting and then that's it.
And what? And do they feel like you actually like make executive decisions or help?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think a huge part of it is like I care a lot.
Yeah.
But the second thing is I have a lot more clarity that comes from the data. So I make data-driven decisions.
Yeah.
And then do quality control or QCs based on the specific constraints.
Yes.
And it's very systematic and it's very numbers-driven, so you can actually see the improvement over time. Which basically, especially all the setters I hire, they don't have 1% of that ever in the previous offers.
Yeah.
So they're always like,
it's just sink or swim. They're like, hit your dials or see you later.
Yeah. Or like, you know, there's just no clarity. Some cons don't even fucking track.
Oh, yeah. And then how do they, exactly.
And I'm just like, are you guys like retarded or?
What I've found is like, the way that I teach managers to coach all their reps is the exact same way that I coach private clients. It's actually no different. So they kind of like the reps that I coach one-on-one, it's kind of like shadow managing them. It's the exact same process. And I feel like it's a pretty predictable process to get a client results. It's not that hard once you just essentially look at their data, identify, you can probably identify any of the issues and you're probably still going to get some results, but identifying the epistemic constraint, which is just like the one constraint that until you kind of solve that, it makes all the other issues very difficult to solve or just illegitimate because you might be wrong. For example, like I've said before, if say you identify a closer has a really low show rate, right? And their close rate's super high, it's very easy for it to just be the only people showing up, the laydowns that decide to show up after whatever pre-call friction was in place. Yeah, or they force reschedule cons. They force cancel, which you can always see in their calendar they're doing it. And they're saying like, they came to you wanting to make more money. They don't necessarily they might even tell you they want their close rate to increase, but they just want to make more money. Yeah. If you can just get more people to show up, by doing that, immediately you can get the client results in like a week and a half. It's the exact same thing you would do for a rep you were managing. Yeah, especially with setting. I think this is a very underrated thing of like, and this is something that you like pointed me in the right direction for, right? Was the setter activity, which we weren't previously doing. Yeah. So, you know, everyone thinks, okay, let me do one call review. Let's fucking roast this 15-minute call for an hour, but that's the wrong way to go about it because what is the constraint? Yes. Right? And yes, that helped a lot. I think setter managing, I honestly think is there's probably more complexity. There's definitely more complexity to it than closing managing. Yeah, for sure. If someone starts off as a setter manager, it's for some reason not as sexy, but it's 100% going to make you more proficient. And as long as you've done closing, if you've closed at a good level and you setter manage, you're going to be infinitely, I think, better off on average than someone that just went from closing to closing managing. Yeah, not that they both couldn't do fantastic, but I just think you've got to deal with the fact that it's not a sexy job. You're dealing with the most inexperienced salespeople that are speaking to customers at the most skeptical in the sales process. And it's like the skill of closing is simply just mostly the skill on the call. Yeah. Right? And then teaching reps to generally not be lazy, to do what's required to get the prospect to show up. But with a setter, you gotta teach them the workflow cadence, all that good stuff, and then you've got to quality control it to make sure that they're actually like we look between if they're taking long gaps between calls, like that was huge for us. I remember like when I actually looked at it one by one, I manually went through the CRM and looked, okay, when was their first dial? When was the last answer or last dial that they had? Yeah. Time between, I was like throwing up. I was like, what the fuck? Then what I got everyone to do was to start doing a loom of like an hour of their dialing flow. Nice. And bro, when we did that. Like an office hours, they were productive as shit. Yeah. So the only explanation is that they're wasting time doom scroll. Exactly. Not necessarily doom scroll, but it's not just, it's that dumb shit in between. Because this happened with a client literally last week. He's a new client, brought him, we went through this exact same thing, just seeing gaps between calls, kind of shocked him. Yeah. And then reset KPIs, and it's all of a sudden the problem goes away once he tells the setters this. And the other thing is, I think probably what you got rid of by doing that loom, if you had guys double dialing, there's obviously arguments that's not the right way to do it. But if you did have people double dialing, especially towards the end of their day, if you had the guys filming a loom, what they would have been doing on loom is actually going through the second dial.
Yeah, no shit.
Whereas a lot of the time what they're actually doing is they'll single dial and the next one they'll just dial hang up. And then it goes on their count and then they put it in their tracker.
Yeah.
So your pickup rate all of a sudden would have increased as well.
Yeah.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think, I think the big thing that most guys think when they come into sales management is it's going to be like coaching and a little bit of grandstanding. Like they're going to just be the hero of the team. When it's anyone I know, all my clients, they're the guide, and it's like
the reps are the heroes.
Exactly,
right.
And then it's like, I think it was maybe George Washington or something said it. Like, if I have to chop down a tree, I'll spend 2 hours sharpening the axe, and then 1 hour to chop it down or whatever.
Yeah,
It's all about the prep, because you can have so much leverage if your decisions are the correct ones, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's awesome to see clients go from like whether it's Brian at Redmayne, like all of these guys, they're getting a lot more respect from their clients now, or from their reps now, because they actually have structure to it, and the reps all feel like they're getting better. I think that's what every manager should be. Like every rep on an account should feel like they're getting free coaching.
Yeah.
Like they're getting a steal. And then because of that, what
a lot of my reps like invested into coaching, and during payment plan they like pause all of it because they thought they were getting way more from me.
That's
which is
we always get, all my clients get told that as well, and then it's like, they feel like another thing it does is that the retention of your reps just goes through the roof.
Yeah, and also love it because I'm actually properly incentivized to get them to be rich.
Yes.
Because it's direct rev share versus them paying me like an upfront thing.
That's true.
So it's much more fulfilling in that sense.
Exactly. Yeah, there's an argument definitely when it comes to coaching that you see it a lot in like large scale group coaching, is they only have to do enough to justify either plausible deniability that they did enough, and they can say, well, this other client got results, why didn't you? Or just enough to not have the person refund so they can move on and get the next client. There's a lot of coaches do this. Whereas with management, if you don't make money, I don't make money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to get you results. And I think that's part of why I did it that way as well. I've only started coaching like one-on-one, like I guess you could call it fairly recently.
Yeah.
Like for about a year or so. But I take the same mentality just subconsciously that I have to get this person results.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's because we were trained from zero that we wouldn't make any money.
Yeah.
If they didn't get results.
Exactly. So we're forced to do it.
It puts people in, I think it puts you in a good
But forces you
mindset.
to be good. Like, even though, and it's funny because I've got heaps of guys, I count already 8 people who've like literally offered me money for coaching.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, I mean, that's a side topic of if I
Well,
take
this is
them or
another
not,
thing that
but-
comes up, dude, is that when you manage at a high level, this is what I get. I don't put any CTAs to coaching. None. I don't put any CTAs to sales coaching. And I have a lot of people asking me for it because I think they can see that like I'm not trying to push an agenda to sell it, to scale it, because it's absolutely not what I'm doing. They can see that I've got my main thing. And instead of me saying, yeah, like I can coach, it's like I'm busy doing the thing.
Yeah.
So people want to jump on that and they know they're going to get genuine help. And then if you actually take care of your clients, you have product-led growth, everyone gets results, and then half your sales come from referrals. But it's all because...
Your referrals are cracked.
Yeah, it's all because... I think it's all just because we had to build the habits as a manager. It's just not sexy. And then I think even got other clients saying it to me now that have just gone from like top closer to manager. They're realizing they're like, they were a closer, and they're like, I just realized now how little you actually do as a rep. Like all you do
you realize how fucking lazy everyone is, including myself. Like,
you do nothing.
Fuck, I could have done way more. Knowing that I know about data and constraints and everything, bro. It's like, fuck. Yeah.
They do nothing.
Anyway.
You don't really do much. You obviously have to be, you're a sniper. Like you have to be good in that hour you're on the call.
Yeah.
For sure. And hats off to all the guys crushing it on calls. It's a critical skill you have to have. It's the first step. But I think, almost all of them say like, how was I doing just that with my time?
All right, quick pause and then we'll get back to the video. If you do over $1 million a year and you want your sales team to scale predictably, I run one-to-one sales management consulting done with you. You can apply at the link. We onboard a few managers each month so you can grab a slot and then we'll install your one-to-one system together. Now back to the video.
Yeah, I think the thing that closers don't think about, and this is what you think about as a manager as well, it's like, what's your time per hour? Sorry, your dollar per hour.
Yes.
As a closer, like that is a genuine metric of how good you are at closing. But I guess people,
yes,
they can do.
It's just because I think they hit their goals pretty much as one part, And then they don't really think, what is my commission per hour?
Yeah.
Not commission per sale, because you don't make a sale every hour.
Exactly.
You know, if you really quantify it like that, you're like, okay, how can I actually increase that?
And this is what I've been trying to tell my reps. It's like, you're on your laptop for like 8 to 10 hours a day anyway. Like, what the fuck else are you going to do? Like, you're on your laptop, what are you going to do? Like, doom scroll? Like, why is your activity low?
Yeah.
And then, you know, they get follow-up closes out of thin air. And it's like, bro, imagine if you did that.
Yeah.
The
amount of guys I know now helping guys, some source. I can't give out all of the actual detail, but there is definitely a good system. I've got some one-on-one coaching clients to basically, I mean, they could, even if you spend an hour a day in the CRM with a system, if like, for example, if you're like making like 60K a month, 50K a month as a closer, right? The most dangerous thing you can do is not have a call in your calendar.
Exactly.
Because just every hour you'd be printing.
Cash per live call is high.
Yeah, it's so high. It's like the most ineffective thing you can do is just have a no-show, for example.
Yeah.
Or have sub 80% slot utilization. Like if you don't have a call in your calendar and you've known for like 24 hours leading up to it, there's nothing. Or 12 hours leading up, you know there's nothing. It's just like the most dangerous thing you can do is just not be doing something. So having guys get a system that is 90% hands-off. Our boy Navid, he's got this down. He's got this down good, and it's just putting sales in his lap when otherwise there would be no booking or it would be a no-show for an account
he's told me about
show rate's a bit lower.
Yeah, he's told me his no-show's fucked.
Yeah, but but what's he able to do? He's able to like spend that time either just optimizing that system that gets in there. And then it's like, you know, you could try to spend the next 7 months, 6 months trying to get so good at the skill, which you're going to do anyway, right? It's not like you're not going to do that because of this, but you could spend 6 months just working on the skill thinking, I just need to get better at saying cool stuff on the call.
Yeah.
Or you could actually learn how to like, just look at the fact that if you just made $100 extra an hour.
Yeah, you just got to think about systematically.
In the hours where you have no shows, like even if you came away with an extra $300 an hour, $300 in your day, and you work most days of the week, it's like 15 grand a month. You're probably going to come away with 15 grand a month extra. That might double most people's income.
Legit.
Just by pulling deals forward, freeing up your calendar. And the amount of, I see going into clients' accounts or coaching guys one-on-one, the amount of like dropped balls, like it's like
that's left off the hook.
Yeah, like it's like a fake follow-up.
Yeah.
And you can do like the guy's like, yeah, he's gonna close in 7 days. And I just go, let's just check your CRM. And you just see the amount of deals that are there. If the rep's good, they just never thought about doing it.
Yeah.
And then you can do it in a systematic way where you just do an order of priorities, where you work out like, you just need to run this for a little bit. If you know on your account, for example, that all your 7-day-old no-shows or greater, they're free for all.
Yeah.
And you know you've tried to call these people and just the close rate on it is whatever it is. Let's say you spend 2 hours calling all the 7-day-old no-shows, right? And you get 2 bookings, 1 sale. And you say you make $500 commission, right? If you made $500 and it took you 2 hours of work, it's an extra $250 an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's going to happen at scale or not, you just need to keep doing it. But you can identify if I do that, and let's say I do my own self-booking, you do that and you see that in 2 hours you can set, you can make 2 sales from booking them. Then obviously that's got a higher priority. So then what you would do is just prioritize that. So if you get a no-show or if you have an open slot, you know without a shadow of a doubt, what is the most lucrative thing I can do in this time to really plug this gap of me not making any money in this hour. You know what I mean? And this is how guys, you only need to really, with most high ticket offers guys are selling, you really only need to pull like 5 sales extra in a month to make a significant increase in your income.
Yeah, 100%.
Better than a kick in the teeth. You know?
And like, I'm super grateful because when I was closing in the offer that you were managing, it was like high volume, a bit lower ticket. Show rate was like not the greatest either, lots of cancels. But you taught me like the basics of that. And I remember I had a system that I made that basically you taught me where you have tasks and you prioritize it from active campaign. And then I would write like the amount of money they had, whether it was a piff, 3 plays, 6 splits. So then I prioritize, okay, obviously the cunts, the motherfuckers you can piff, call first. But that served me so well throughout. And that never made me into like a baby bird, fat cat closer, whatever you call it. But what I'm noticing as well, and I don't know what it is, maybe you have a better answer to this, but like the more people that get into the space, they're always so obsessed about, especially setters, about like closing, but then they also, a lot of people become in a way, like fat cat closers. I feel like follow-up's like a lost art in a way.
Yeah.
Almost like entitled. I don't know.
I think there's a few things to it. I think one is that whilst it's valid, it's definitely true, is that the offer is kind of primary. I think that's a big one. Is guys think, well, why would I bother doing any of this follow-up if I could it's just the offer. Like they just always look for a better offer. Maybe they're just like, they'd rather spend the time just looking for a better offer, or they think it's the offer and they're not going to bother doing it. They're like, what's the point? I think it just comes from a large part because they're just not very good at it.
Yeah.
If you're not good at it, they think, what's the, also, I just get the same question every time follow-up comes up from people. And it's just like, I don't know what to say. When it's just like, you should have, there's a few things to it, right? If it's your follow-up, you should know exactly why they didn't buy it, right? It should have been talked about when you establish some kind of reason why, conditions of satisfaction.
Yeah.
I think a lot of managers are also teaching their reps just to one call close, push to burn them. And some accounts they have to, because it's like it's some biz op where they just know on cold traffic, there's no way this person's going to come back if they don't close them right there and then. So they just avoid it. So they're just not very good at it. But I think it all starts at the end of the first call, which guys don't really do. They just try to heavy objection handle. And if they don't, what do they? They just say, okay, we'll talk about it next week. When there should be a strong tie down there, which is something that you have to do in B2B. Because you're probably not going to close them and collect cash on the first call. So there has to be some kind of conditions of satisfaction for why the person would or wouldn't proceed in the week after that.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of B2B guys are good at it, but a lot of guys just come into B2C and it's just all they're trained. It's just get this guy to cry in 30 minutes and try to piff. And if it doesn't happen, then so you just see there's just like their follow-ups don't come through.
Yeah.
Right. So what ends up happening is they get learned helplessness. So they just think, well, these deals aren't going to come through either way. So what's the point of following up? And then they think, and then I think it's getting a bit of a trend now, because I talk about it a bit. Matt talks about it a lot.
Yeah, Matt's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and because he crushes with it. And I think guys are going now, or just reps in general now, are just thinking, okay, I could probably do it, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
And it's having a process for sure.
100%. I think also as well, like when the top guy's doing it, like you just can't compete with him if he's doing it and you're not.
Yes.
Like, I think a problem that I know from other offers from guys who've come to me just through network or, friends of friends. I think they say like the top guy doesn't do it, so then they don't do it.
True.
Well,
that's
but
just,
it's like, you can smoke that motherfucker.
Well, that's the thing is like the top guy might not be doing it, but if he was, he'd be making even more
way
money.
more money. Everyone, yeah.
And I think the last 3 one-on-one coaching clients I brought on as part of at least probably the last 5. We've done that towards the end of the coaching. There's like some constraints in the first 3 weeks, which are just skill-based, just needs to be fixed. And probably add another up to 50% on top of their close rate. Like say they're at 25, 30, they might go up to 60 or something like that. And at that point, it's like they hit the 80-20. For them to get to from 60 to 70% close rate, it would take the same amount of time that it took them to get from like 25 to whatever they are, 60. So it's off-core optimization and follow-up and stuff like that.
It's so crazy because everyone, like closers care so much about their close rate. Above everything. It's like, it's cash collected. Like you don't care about your commission. They care so much about close rate.
Yes.
And then for setters, from my experience, they care so much about how many sets they do in a day.
Yeah.
Which doesn't equal. You and I both know that doesn't equal fucking cash. There's more that goes into it.
Sure. I think it's ultimately every rep just needs to look at their commission per hour.
That's the ultimate like.
Yeah. Or their cash collected per book call is what we look at for all reps.
Yeah.
Right. It's like because this is indicative too of your show rate.
Yeah.
Because you like, I have a there's actually a correlation between a super high AOV and you only ever closing laydowns and everyone else you don't close at all because the laydowns are going to piff anyway.
Yeah.
So your offer might be 8K and you have a 7K AOV. If you said, I close like 90% piff, I'm like, yeah, well, the only sales you make are piffs from people that were going to probably buy it anyway and they just completely commit like I would. I'm a laydown on every sales call.
Yeah.
It's not entirely indicative of your skill. Whereas if you look at someone's commission per hour for themselves or cash collected per book call, this is like every slot in your day, right?
Yeah.
If you just take your income and or your cash and you divide it by the amount of slots you have, this tells me everything. It tells me both your skill and your show up rate and what you're probably doing.
and just how resourceful you are to actually making cash.
Exactly. So goes back to that point. Is like if you have a no-show, what are you going to do to recover that time?
Yeah.
And it's just the attitude because a lot of guys are just expecting to get the sale straight away, but it's not even it's about the attitude to do it because as soon as you tell yourself you're not going to do anything, you've killed it. You've given up.
Yeah, so it was you that taught me that, I think.
Yeah, you need to. You can just never tell yourself that don't do it unless, like we've done with, like, say for example with Chase, like he's just crushing at FSA, and I think he just had so many bookings that we actually, when we laid out his order of priorities, sure, maybe 1 and 2 were to conduct.
There's no like lead tiering system.
Oh, there was some kind of I'm not sure, but there was just some kind of activity that he needed to do, like the first 2 activities. But we just worked it out. He was like, honestly, I think the third step is just to take rest. But that's because he's at like near 100% slot utilization because he's that busy and the show rate's very high, right? And he's so busy because typically these people come through on follow-up. This is how the deal works. He's busy maybe closing these people on follow-up or just dealing with on actual new calls. And in his case, it is actually worth him taking some rest. But for most guys, you just even see memes about it. There was like, I saw some meme where they're like, how my day as a high ticket closer. And the guy gets up and goes to his desk to open his laptop, and then he sits on the Zoom call and there's a no-show and he goes back to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, and everyone's like liking. I'm like, dude, you're just advocating for the fact that you have no ability to, like,
and these are
you're
like,
depending on someone else for your income. The guy forgot the call. Okay, I'm not going to make money today.
yeah. No, it's crazy. But also as managers, like you can see that. So cash collected per book call is how we order the priority.
Exactly.
And the amount of like accounts that I know or like closers and know that don't have a priority system, it's fucking wild to me.
Yes.
Like the amount of accounts I interviewed as well that say that, it's crazy because you can have some dude that's literally, when they have a no-show, going back to bed.
Yes.
Having a fucking cigar. Like, and that's going to be fucking up your ROAS.
Exactly.
And stuff.
And then you got, I've seen it, man. Accounts where one rep's got like 5x the cash collected per book call as the next rep, and he's getting the same volume as the guy with 1/5 the cash collected per call.
Even I've heard like guys who are ramping, who are like on the same priority as the top guy, and they're not even fully booked out.
Which it's a bunch of, it's obviously just like it's just literally burning money is one thing, but two, I've seen the sentiments of why they do it.
What,
is that
from a culture or?
Yeah, there's limiting beliefs in the management that they've got this sort of semi-communist mentality where they think the reps are going to leave if they do it, and all that. I'm like, it's just you're literally avoiding the process of what you should do, which is by creating meritocracy, it sweats out all the C players. And I can tell you with a lot of these accounts where they're doing it, you're not going to have any problem getting good talent. Don't worry. Like it's a good offer.
If an A player, like you and I are both like A player closers, right? It's like you want a priority system where you can be the fucking
and it doesn't mean like if like say you have a 6K or a 10K cash collectible book call, and say I have a 9K, right? And the next guy has a 5K. That doesn't mean you get all the bookings. There's still logic to it, right? Yeah. There's still logic to it. We may get like almost the exact same. Yeah. But to do it with some of these really obvious ones where guys are like at 1/6 the cash collected per book call, and then they're getting the same volume, and they think, oh, we're going to lose this guy. I can tell you, half the time, these top reps are like my one-on-one coaching clients under the radar, and they're just like literally there just for the money. And the second that something happens to that offer, they're gone. Yeah, because they're not building any. You've got to choose like what your culture is to build some like meritocracy around it. And like I said, what will happen is maybe the bottom performers will leave. But then But then what that will expose, which I think is why they don't do it, is it'll expose the fact that you don't have a very good hiring or ramping process. Which is something you've really helped me with. It's like it's always that's like one of the main things you see managers do. Like there's additive measures to the fact that like behind all of it is that they're not good at coaching or hiring or interviewing. They don't know what to do, but they don't want to admit it, whatever it is. So they go, well, I don't want anyone to leave because I don't have to ramp someone again. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd have to play another lottery. Like this guy's okay. I know he's like the best of the last 5 people I've hired. And I just won't. It's such a scarce mindset. Yeah. Yeah. You get limiting beliefs. The more because that's something that I think I wasn't, I mean, you helped me with this, like the mindset of like hiring, always be hiring, always have a bench of people. And now, I got that. But at the start, because I mean, I wasn't doing hiring straight away. We had that. And then for whatever reason, we wanted to scale, and then there's like no one there. Then it took like a long process, or setter wanting to close already. And, it's very important to have that process. But it's not just like the hiring, but it's also like you said, the ramping. Yes, you need to have an efficient ramping process to get people up to speed. It shouldn't take a month. Exactly. Yes, it's like if you have all the right assets and artifacts. But I just see there's like a lot of the time why guys aren't getting, say, promoted from setter to closer, or why guys aren't getting more priority. It's not because the manager, half the time the manager doesn't even make these decisions, for one. But it's not always because the manager's not going to and they're a dick. It's because they're just not confident how.
Yeah.
And then they may try and they do it wrong and then it just loses money because they go way too heavy on it, for example, or something like that. Or they don't, just there's no QC around it when they do change something. So they're just averse to hiring. But when you actually create a meritocracy, yeah, and then you just know, at the end of the day, I know I've got 10 guys on my bench right now that are just begging to get on this offer.
Yeah.
And they're all fighting for it in some way. They're all like just keeping me up to date with where they're at with their offer now or whatever they're doing. And then once they jump on the account, it really takes like, you look short. It might take 90 days for them to be at the point with like the 80-20, but you can pretty much get these guys in KPI within like literally, I remember one of the last like proper done for you ramps I did, where I didn't just coach the manager or the CEO, but I actually did it. Took me literally 3.5 hours. That's it. Just literally 3 1-hour sessions. Just focusing on the 80-20 of the process. This guy had no closing experience, 0. And just by actually
Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just by actually understanding, like, what is it on that call that the closer needs to do to be good, that if all the other phases they might be okay at, but just wouldn't count for anything. Same for a setter, right? Like, you could do the exact same with a setter. Is you've got to look, as a manager, you've got to look at the setter process, for example, and just be able to know, because this is why it helps if you are actually very good yourself.
Yeah.
Is you know what it takes to be good at it. And if you can sit in the chair or the shoes of a new setter, especially if it's their first job, and you're throwing like 50-page ramping with all this CRM stuff and all this other stuff, you need to learn all this. Like, they're so bewildered by all that.
Yeah, I remember the thing that you told me, which really increased the efficiency of the ramping process, was like, what's the 80-20 of that specific offer, of like the main constraints or challenges that people go through, and you just spend the ramping process primarily on those 2 things, or one thing.
Yeah,
we did it for our offer 2 things, and boom, they're
you just
done.
have to ask yourself, if you could only get, like, imagine it's like a video game when you have a new character. It's like, if there's 10 things you could choose to be good at, but you can only choose 2 of them. Yeah. Right? Which ones would they be? Just ask yourself that. If you had a new closer, a new setter, and they can only be good at like 1 or 2 things in a sales call, they can only be really good at 1 to 2 phases. Yeah. What would it be? And then you realize if you actually do that, then they can kind of like, it's not like they haven't heard a sales call before. You're going to show them gold standard calls anyway. Yeah. Right? They can usually, like, you see it, no closers ever have really any issue with the dream outcome, North Star, whatever people are calling it now. Like getting like how would it feel, all that good stuff, you know? Yeah. They also, you see some friction around them pitching. They lose energy or conviction, but it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, that takes 5 minutes.
But what guys, especially say in like fitness or biz op, is they just don't know how to tie down objection prevention or objection finding, whatever it is. They got way too heavy in of agenda at the top of the call in discovery. It just depends on the account, but you see a lot of the time the guys are just way too rigid, and they don't just they're not speaking to the right buyer, for example. Like, they maybe only ever sold to an unsophisticated buyer. And if they speak to someone who's more sophisticated, they're not going to give you all this pain because they don't have it. It's different. It's just addressing whatever that is. If that's
I always say that, like, you can't force someone to be homeless, you know?
Exactly. Because it's not their pain point. It's like they have an unfulfilled desire or something, right? Yeah, exactly. But just teaching the rep just that, it's insane how it works. And if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna run a sales agency, for example, this is something you have to do. Because if you're gonna have 4 or 5 accounts, what are you gonna do? Literally teach every new hire every phase of the call? No, what you typically see is they teach them none of it, and they just go, "Good luck. Here's 3 call recordings. Just follow the process. Yeah. Good luck." And it's like neither one of those works. Whereas if you have a process you've proven over time, you can identify when you come into an account, what is it that makes someone great here in the leanest manner possible. You know? Yeah. You can just have tremendous success, and there's really not that much competition, man, when it comes to management. Yeah, there's not. There's really, like, I know you. I don't really know. I know a few guys from like US, but like, no one's. Yeah. Well, there will be now. I think. Well, you're like breeding the next fucking generation, you know. I think. There's some guys doing really well. Cool. So obviously, you've seen my progression from fucking closer, 0 sales experience. I think you helped me made like just under 10K in like 2 months, which is very quick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then When you first started.
Past that, I scaled to like multiple 30K plus months, and then sort of got the management before scaling further than that. But now I've sort of had an account. I've been through the ups, the downs, everything in between in like a year. So
You've
I feel
seen
like
the full life cycle of an offer.
yeah, like I feel like you're telling me like I've gone through like what you went through with your offer. I went through it like in a period, and I saw kind of everything between. So beyond that, you sort of pivoted from, because before you were just managing one main offer. You kind of running the Genkos.
Yeah, so probably had, I think at most I had three, and then some small projects.
Yeah, and then you kind of stepped away from the main big one, and then you kind of like went your own path to different things. So what was your mindset, or not, like just your thought process in between, and how you got to now? Because now you're fucking raping the industry.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm trying to follow similar like paths.
Yeah, I tell you what it was. It's a good question. I think for the longest time, I think a lot of managers are probably in the same spot. The big shiny $1 million a month that you actually build, not like jumping on $1 million, not jumping on an offer at 800K and then riding it up to $1 million with someone else's direction. Like actually building an offer and managing it from 0 to $1 million, or even if I had taken one from $1 million to $2 million, just adding $1 million a month in revenue for the client or for an account was not a shiny object, but the North Star. And I think that, and then it's even something that you talked about that you wanted when we started working together, was that you said you just want to be able to look at data and the state of an account and know the decision to make that decision, and then watch the data go up, right?
Yeah.
I wanted those two things. I wanted it to, that's kind of the mechanism to get there, but ultimately the $1 million a month. And I think one of the last done for you accounts that I'd done literally got from red on everything. Every metric was just in the red, like well below KPI. And the KPIs were like, in hindsight, were perfectly achievable. So they weren't well above what was achievable. Taking that account from all in the red to all in the green, which I really hadn't seen ever. Like everything was crushing. And I knew it was because of all the things I'd tested, coached people, every rep in that account. When I came to that account, obviously none of the reps were from me.
Yeah.
And then by the time we were a couple months in, all of the reps were from me, right? Because we'd cycled them out. I actually started putting standards in place and all that good stuff. And just seeing everything go green, and this is the irony of this whole story, it was like empty. It's like there's nothing, like you just what you aim for is to turn an account from crap to perfect. Yeah. Where every decision you make, it works. But what happens is no more challenge. So that was one thing, is that after about a month of just like, it didn't really matter what, I could literally not work for like a week on that account. And then I literally got my hours down through systems. I literally cut it down to like 30% of what it was before.
Yeah.
Right? To like 10 hours a week. Literally a couple hours a day. And that's me just like still scaling it as a manager too. There's no one else on the tools doing stuff. It's not like I was telling other people to do things. So it's that. It's like seeing the accounts hit the big numbers, and then being able to just know the plays to make. There was actually some kind of nihilism in that. And then at the end of the day, I'll say this, is that like we're fortunate to work with some fantastic business owners.
Yeah.
But you're still, at the end of the day, it's important and it's so valuable to work with people like that because they can help you realize what you need to do, and you get like a university degree with them. But at the end of the day, you're still building someone else's dream, right? And even if you're in co-ownership, I think there's a degree of that. Like there's certain businesses you absolutely want to have a co-owner, but in that space when you're in management, if you really care about the business, it's almost just you and the founder, because sales is so important. You guys are like 1 and 2. At the end of the day, they're looking out for themselves to a degree, and that's fair enough. It's fine. But I think I just really sat there and I just realized that like, dude, I need to have my own thing completely.
Yeah.
Right? Where I need the challenge, because like, I just greenlit on all the data for these accounts. I couldn't miss. And I just wanted more. And it's never was going to be my plan just to make 50K a month or something. Like, so
I remember you going through that, because like when I met you in Dubai, you were still running that main one, and then like sort of over that break, that's when that kind of happened.
Yes.
But then you had definitely a few like limiting beliefs. Like you knew you wanted to do it. You were talking about. I was like, that sounds like a fucking unreal idea.
I did?
Do it. Yeah. But then you're sort of like not necessarily hesitate, but
I think so.
You didn't pull the trigger.
Did.
Yeah, you didn't pull the trigger
No, I 100%
until.
did. I tell you what it was.
Well, what?
That's actually a great question. It was BS. It was because there's so many charlatans in the industry.
Yeah.
So it's hard to even say this now because it's like such a stupid limiting belief. But I was like, oh, yeah, but I don't want to be associated with crap offers, like crap people selling like shit coaching. I'm like, and then someone actually said to me, he's like, "We'll just show that you're good. Like you're good. Like I know you're good, so just do it." So I think there was that, but that was probably just an excuse for a lack, like just the unknown. Just to do it.
Classic fear of
but it was an overqualification thing. It was an expert bias thing, right? It wasn't like I don't know what I'm doing. I knew I was like, with respect, like I knew I was very good. Yeah. Like I knew I'd never ever churned a client ever. Like, and I knew I'd got everyone results. So I think I just had a very high expectation. Your identity is attached to it or something. My identity was, but then I think it's just like anything. It's like once the discomfort of what's going on because you're not doing anything about it becomes worse than whatever risk is associated. You do it, and then I realized, and it's just like, why wasn't I doing this sooner?
Yeah.
Because now I can make all the decisions about the culture of the business. I can give 120% to the client, and they're so grateful for it.
Yeah.
And you really know, like, the closer you are to the genesis of the solution, like you built it, the greater the satisfaction level. Like for a closer, you know, if you're using someone else's process to close, it still feels great because you executed the process.
Yeah.
You imagine for a manager, that's part of why it's so satisfying, right? Because you built the process, you coach the rep.
Yeah.
There's more satisfaction. Well, if you go even a level above that, then it's like, it's even more satisfying.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got the first taste of getting clients' results, you take full ownership of the results because there was no other departments like affecting it.
Yeah.
It's a big part of it. And also now I've shifted to this point where I've kind of hit the 80-20 because of just like teaching it, getting all the results I done for you, and then teaching it and just getting all these results. I'm at this point now I've kind of 80-20'd with my own development in it, that the only way for me to get better at sales management is to do other things.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of like in closing, right? You get to a point where sometimes just sparring a guy will teach you more about closing than fucking a hot dog.
Exactly. You need dynamic life experience. But I think with me, it's like the market positioning.
Yeah.
Is like a big part. It's like obviously if you're in a massively competitive landscape, I think I already achieved a lot of escape velocity from competition because I was, with respect, I got way better results than people.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, there was already a good reputation. But as you know, I was Mr. Underground. I was unknown.
No one knew you. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I had to address
I remember telling the boys about you when I came here. Yeah. And like, I think Navid maybe knew you.
Yeah.
Like briefly, but yeah.
If people had worked with me, they knew.
But I wasn't like no one. Yeah, you were known. Yeah.
There was I had no parasocial relationships. That's the thing. Is that I knew everyone that knew me.
Yeah.
But now it's a case where there's starting to hear from cold customers. Like I had a cold customer close yesterday, and he only knew about me from the Navid review.
Yeah.
You know, like I see that more and more now. But I just think I had good competitive advantage with my space of the people I knew, which helped have those initial foundational clients. But I think that's the constraint I needed to address was just to have just better marketing. And then it's actually lifted sales ops because as I've gotten significantly better, it's not hard to do when you have a good offer. I already know this. So once you actually fundamentally have a great product, it's very easy to market it.
Yeah, this is what Matt was saying as well. And you were saying,
Yeah, and then it's like
your fulfillment is your marketing.
Exactly, that's my mentality. It's just like it's product-led growth. But once I started getting better at marketing, I'm able to help clients even more than I was before with sales ops because I just have so much more context. So I think that was just the kind of way I've developed in the last 6 months is just making the offer better, streamlining ops fulfillment. By the very nature that I'm fulfilling for every client, I don't have, it wouldn't be the case if I didn't, but I'm fulfilling for all the clients. So I'm already leveling up massively when it comes to back end. Like by the nature of me having a product that I'm servicing and all of the clients renewing, I'm able to coach the client themselves on improving their back end.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot more congruence to running the business and then coaching the CEO, because I don't just coach sales managers. Oftentimes this is the CEO. So I think that's just like what's been most rewarding about it, but also what I've learned the most. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, you've progressed a lot. I mean, you've always been, I know, you're always the most like fucking dialed and you're always like progressing a lot.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to ask is like content. That's something that you didn't do. You keep telling me to do, which I definitely have my own like hesitation, as you could say. Or maybe I just don't care about it enough. But what effect have you seen from the content you post on YouTube? And you just post more on Instagram because you were that underdog guy as fuck. Like underground, sorry. Like, you were the beneath the shadows of everything.
Yeah. I was like, obviously now I'm mainly just YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But what I think, I can just share my experience with content is that is the same limiting beliefs about getting started with an offer. It's probably very similar with content. If you're a manager or like you're doing under 100K a month or something like that, is that there's a few things. One that I had was like, well, everything's already been said by guys above me. That's a classic one.
Yep.
And then I had a few clients go, yeah, but I like the way you run my business. I don't like, I said, that guy's already done it. He's like, yeah, I don't want that guy. I want you. Like, I like the way you treat my business. I like the way you talk about management. I like the way you talk about sales more than that guy. So you got to understand that the fact that even if you are like marginally less experienced than say me, your experience, the way you go through it, it might resonate more because it's all based on resonance.
Yeah.
All sales, right?
Yeah, correct.
So you just got to remember that. That's one thing that will help you get over it, is that 100% there is more than enough people out there that will resonate with you more than me for you to make a lot of money. That's one thing. Another thing that I realized that Matt helped me with was just that, like, he said to me, dude, it won't matter. In a year, you're going to look back and your video, you're going to cringe. Like you won't like your videos no matter what. Like, so just do it. So the first few videos, like I was like, it took like, I don't know, 30 minutes to get out a 5-minute video or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's just like second nature. So it's just, you just have to get the reps. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
And then once you realize, I don't know, I talk to myself a little bit more aggressively. I'm like, come on, man, like you have to do it. So it's really not, and then once you see how much value it provides.
Yeah,
people,
that's I guess the second part of my question. Like, what value? Because now you're much more known.
Yeah.
You've got a stronger network. You've got a better hiring funnel.
Yes. Oh, this is
like how has this content really helped you?
Oh, if you see the benefits, for example, the last
Tell me on it. Yeah.
The last hiring round I did for a client, like I got like 80 applicants, at least 80, 90 applicants with one post, because people were just around.
Just through IG.
Just from LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn, right.
Actually, no, LinkedIn, I had about 80 on that. And Instagram, I don't even know. I got so many on that. And people still flowing in. After the story, just 24 hours, it's gone. People still messaging me saying, hey, someone sent me that you were things. So I've just got a constant flow of potential sales reps coming in for all the PSO clients. So they know how to recruit themselves because I teach them the exact thing I use.
Yeah.
But I'm also able to put them in my pool to give them to clients so they get even better results.
Yeah.
So that's one big thing is from content. But it's the way you go about doing the content. Like you can do the lifestyle thing 100%. You're just going to get people following along for sure. But you just got to think if you want the intent. Like if you look, I have some of these videos get like 150 views, but like a client will close on multiple 5 figures and tell me on the call that's the video they watched. So it's not even about the views. So I think another part of it is you have to do content that is congruent in the way you want to do it, because if the way you want to do it is going to be the type of people, it's going to relate very much to the type of people you get. So if you really you don't want to do like very high level lifestyle stuff and you want to do quite granular niche content, it's probably because you resonate with people that get into detail. Well, that's the type of people you're going to attract. So if you are a manager and you do that type of content, even if you're not super experienced with sales management, for example, but if you are a fantastic closer and you're able to explain the way you do your process, one, obviously you're going to attract salespeople. 2, you're going to get way better because it puts you under a pressure cooker doing it on content. Yeah. Because you have to articulate your ideas well. You can't blabber. You can't say shit that isn't true, right? Because it's on record. So you have to be congruent when you explain it. And I think you will just be very surprised when you actually do it, how much value you get tangibly from a recruiting standpoint. as a sales manager. I think I just teach all my clients now. It's like get some form of content out there because you're gonna, if you're doing none, there's gonna be pretty immediate within a couple of weeks, order of magnitude more people you're gonna recruit from. Yeah. That. And then if you ever do, I have a few clients doing this now that are just purely in management, but they're thinking smart and long playing it, is that they know that in maybe 2-3 years that they don't know exactly what they want to do yet, but they know they want to do something. And it's going to be in this general sphere of this whole digital marketing space.
Yeah.
Whether they go all in on marketing, they could, for all intents and purposes, go on to just focusing on CSM stuff, back end. They maybe just do sales up stuff. They just start doing content now because they know that it's going to take a time to build up. But in a year, once they do stand there and go, okay, I've left my account as a manager, what do I have to start with? They're not cold starting with 0 subscribers. They might have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. They could push whether it's a low ticket product, a high ticket service, whatever it is, and they're probably going to do quite well straight away if they've been putting a lot of goodwill out there.
Yeah.
I think that's 2 big things, is recruiting whilst you're in a management position, and 2, for your long-term future. And then 3, it just makes you a lot better at your skill of coaching and managing. Just YouTube especially, just with long form.
Yeah.
But if
we're watching Nicole and Ravi, that's what they were saying, like long form YouTube's like, so much resonance.
Right. Yeah. But it depends. If you resonate more with writing, you see how much success guys have had on Twitter, Devante and all these other guys. Like if you just feel like just brain dumping and ripping on Twitter and you do it that way, great. I just like doing YouTube.
Yeah.
I feel like I can articulate a lot more value on that. And also I think like I've structured my offer to not be competitive because it's actually the opposite of, like, I think Peter Thiel talks about, is like people think competition and capitalism are synonyms when they're actually antonyms. They're opposite. If you're really doing capitalism well, you don't have any competitors.
Yeah.
Right? You're crushing. But I think there is a sense with YouTube that like, I always think like, I just want to have the most valuable content in my space, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You know? And then seeing like, for example, with that Navid review, the amount of reps, the amount of clients I've got from that video is insane. They just say, I just watched that video, and like they were cold to me straight before that. They watched that, like, I need that, right? So there's that. It attracts clients if you ever want to do private coaching. You can help guys out there. If another one is that I've got PSO clients purely from the fact that I've explained something on a video, on like a talking head video on YouTube.
Yeah.
The reps watch the video.
Yeah.
And they go and tell the founder. They tell their boss, like, oh, if you're trying to like do sales management, just go see this guy's stuff. And then they tell their boss about it. And then because this is as much like a B2B sale, is you need a champion of some kind, or some kind of partner inside of the business who the potential customer trusts.
Yeah.
And they're going to trust their opinion. Because if I go to that person completely cold, they're going to be like, sure, you would say that.
Yeah.
Potentially, right? But if someone inside the account goes to their boss or their founder or someone associated, like if I sold a marketing product, right? And it's in the best interest of potentially that someone in the marketing team to buy it, but they get a lot of offers at them. By the nature of you having someone very close to them see it, in my case, it's the rep. It's kind of like a double-sided offer. I just get PSO clients from it. Do you know what I mean? Because my content both addresses the knowledge that a sales rep wants to know, but then I'm always pushing it a lot more with management. So even if the rep doesn't fully get it yet, half of them might want to become managers. The other half might just think it's interesting, so they get a better picture, which I always like to do for people. I did in the military too, is give guys that are maybe in this position a bigger picture of what's going on, so they understand kind of their position. I think a lot of reps just get value from seeing the what goes on at the management and ops level.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
And even if they're never a customer because they never manage an account, they become an advocate. They speak to their founder and say, this guy's giving out like free shit like that people pay for. And then you get clients from it, you get recruiting from it, and you just get a lot more confidence. I just think it's something you have to do. So that's a long answer to your question.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully I've closed you on doing a long.
I got to do it. I mean, we've got the cameras out, so
yeah,
you be seeing.
Like I consider all day, man. I think like the amount of guys I know that have kind of doing content that are not even half the experience level you have, but I think you just have to get to a position where you see the consequence of it. It's classic closing yourself on it.
Yep.
And then just you should also, I think more so though, is just the FOMO of what you're missing by not doing it.
Yeah. Because I guess for me, sort of streamlining and optimizing my ramping process, I've been in a lot more networks. I'm sort of friends with sales coaches and whatnot. So like a lot of the reps know me. I've interviewed a lot of people. Like I went to an in-person event in Gold Coast. It's super funny, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you were speaking there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're one of the guest speakers there.
That's right.
But when I was there, it was like, there's these people I've never met of who like heard about me. And this is without content, by the way, just with network. They'd come up to me and it's funny because I think when I was a closer, I was like at their level. I mean, I was obviously a good closer, but people were like pretty, like normal to me and stuff. But when I imagine people, you can definitely see they're trying to put like their best foot forward, trying to see if they can ask for the job in a low-key fucking...
Because you have authority.
For boosting. Yeah, it was really interesting. And this is with no content, so I can really see the value of, especially from a hiring perspective, getting a lot.
If you want to front load, it's a good point. If you want to front load a ton of ramping, do content.
Yeah.
Because these people come to you already, in lack of a better term, positively indoctrinated into the way that you manage, the way that you see sales. Like just by me having a gold standard call review on my YouTube, like any manager probably with a decent amount of skill, especially all my clients, they're gonna have call reviews of great calls.
Yeah.
If you just had that on your YouTube,
I got a fuck ton of it.
You would have people saying, "Can I pay you for coaching?" For sure, because a lot of reps like they pay to solve their problem. They pay someone to level up. If not, they're thinking, "What offer is that?" Oh, he manages that offer, and then they want to work on that offer.
Yeah.
So and then when you do bring guys on, you see it. Like I've seen it. I've watched call reviews of my clients, or I've been on calls with clients, and they're already speaking in the way that I explain on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're already bought in.
Yeah, that's streamlined as shit.
Yeah.
That's
so it's like, that's fortunately why I'm at 100% show rate and 100% close rate. Literally 100% close rate on PSO. Yeah, well, I keep trying to raise the price. I'm trying to lose sales at this point.
Yeah,
but
losing unit economics is too cheap.
Yeah, I'm trying. But yeah, when they jump on the call and they're already pretty much bought in because I've given so much value. That's the way I see it. I also just couldn't stand a lot of the content that I see where there's this open loop where they give you like 50%. They say, you need this thing. And it's like, what is it? I'm like, dude, if you saying that on a YouTube video is going to to make the product redundant, then you really shouldn't have an offer.
Yeah.
Your information is, if you can say it on a YouTube video, then it really isn't that much of an offer. Because all my content I put out there, it's an example of what I've done for another client. Any client's going to see that and go, okay, that could be me, right? But my problems are slightly different. But what I give away, it doesn't matter because I've just built like 100% trust that they're like, oh, if I jump in with him, he's going to give me the specific version for me and it'll be that good for me. So I always have a good call with clients because they know I can help. It's just, they just want it specific. And that's what I've always thought. It's the same for like the objective of a VSL. It's to get the guy to show up and have enough of an open loop that they feel like they need to show up, but you're not pissing them off by hiding so much. They should be getting to the end of that VSL and going, I am 100% bought in on the way this is done. I just need to work out how it's going to be done for me.
Yeah.
Like with my specific business, like with what's going on, with where I am in what season. So it kind of is your content is I guess it's like your brand. It's like, I know it sounds obvious, but it's like the way people see your product on the front end, And if it's congruent, and even then, like clients fortunately tell me, they're like, oh, I thought it was going to be in depth. I didn't realize it was this much. So you'll still be able to give way more to your paying clients. And I don't have any of my paying clients ever once complaining and saying, oh, dude, you shouldn't be giving out that stuff on the front end. Like, because everything on the back end is custom. Yeah. It's all done for you or done with you. But I think you need to stand out. Again, I don't want to be in competition with the next guy trying to Jedi mind tricks you onto jumping on a call. And I'm not going to try to convince you on my sales call to buy it if you have objections, because you're going to be a headache client if I need to push you.
Yeah.
So like, why would I do that? I have enough clients. If you come on the call with objections, one, I'm not going to push you because we're going to be together. I don't want to be dragging you through it. That's one thing. And two, you just get the wrong type of clients there. And also, I just look at it like this. I think, well, if I'm bringing on at scale, if it's a one-off, then it's a red herring, right? And I wouldn't address it. As we know as manager, you don't address red herrings. But if at enough scale, I was getting so many objections on my call for my offer, I would look at the offer or the messaging. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I just need to get, the offer needs to be better.
Yeah.
You know, you need to improve the offer. You don't need to, so this is another benefit going back to that point you're saying before about like going from closer to manager to business owner is that you have the power to do what you always got gaslit into not doing, which is fixing the offer. You know, your offer owner tells you, no, it's just you, it's your skill. Well, maybe it was, probably was. But when you're the business owner, you have the responsibility and the ability to just improve the offer. So that's what I do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And the content just, it does all the work, man. It's the selling system. It's the whole selling system, the content. And you can see, I don't even get that many views, but it does what it does. We know my numbers.
Yeah.
So I couldn't advocate for it more, man. You have to do it.
We got to do it. Well, there you go, boys. That's what we got to do. Another question I had was, so I think this is something that you asked earlier on, things you didn't know about managing. And I think a big part of it is like operations.
Yeah.
Like as a closer, you don't really have systems. Like, you know, you use your founder's SOPs, but usually shitty SOPs.
Yes.
That are like half-assed or just like
They haven't been
MVP.
tested. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only been tested with the offer on the founder's advantage and all that.
Yeah.
But like at scale, it's so important as a manager to be efficient with your time, which is something I struggled with at the very beginning, just from lack of awareness, I guess, was a big factor. So from going to closer to manager, and then from managing one account to, let's say, multiple accounts, and even doing, for example, like you with sales coaching clients on the side. How did you manage to leverage your time that way you could still fulfill, get good results, but you could sort of take on more?
It's a good
I feel
question.
like a lot of people, including closers, have that where they're kind of like no lifing, they're skipping fucking gym and shit to get calls. And then, you know, managers as well. Like a pain point I had was I would spend so much time on it, but and then I got to a point eventually I was spending less time, but I was actually doing better for everyone, right? So how did you learn it? What are your tips on it for like
a few
people
things.
watching?
I'll say this in the order that I did it, right?
Yeah.
I went through that period, I think where a lot of guys do, where they start making real money and then they just ditch the gym. Because they're like, I'm going to print this every minute, every day. I'm just going to capitalize on this. And they stop going to the gym. At the end of this, I'll tell you how I fixed that. But in the beginning, I wasn't chaotic. I always had the right systems, even when I was managing an account. And it is all from the data, right? It's like you need to identify who's the biggest. Like, for example, if you have a low lead to booking rate, right? And you have 5 setters. And you identify that 2 out of the 5 are doing all of the work.
You set a variance.
That's where you're going to do your training, right? I think we know that. That's like how you're going to set your day. That's already going to probably up to 2/3 cut your day down. Because if you're just like shouting and slack to everyone, or you're not doing anything and waiting to see the smoke coming out of the building, where literally the offer's on fire for you to do anything, neither one of those is going to be effective. So being pointy with your coaching is going to save you time. But I think one thing that you got to realize is that someone said this, is that like until you're actually really busy, you don't work out, you will not know.
Natural soldiering, right?
Well, I just say you'll not know where the breaks will be. So like I had this as well. I had an aversion in the beginning because I was just like 100. I still have, but like 100% client results. Like everyone needs to get results. I'm not going to get one bad result, and I won't scale until I can do it. They're not mutually exclusive, right? Is that you can scale, and the more that you scale, one, there's a benefit to it because you have more context across clients, across industries. So you're able to help clients more because you have more context. And 2, the more busy you are, it goes back to what you just said. It's like natural soldiering. It's like you're going to find the time. You're going to see it. It's really obvious. Like if I had like 15 PSO clients or something like that, you're going to learn a lot more than when you had 5 because you have the time to take the piss and be slow. Yeah. So I would just say you need to, the busier you get, the more you'll find exactly what you need to do to scale effectively, and you'll find where the breaks are. I think as a manager, you just need to be systematic about what is the 80-20, because I guarantee if you looked at all the things you do in the day as a closer, I saw Hormozi talking about this. He's like, literally every 15 minutes have an alarm on your phone and write down what you did the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, Ovens talks about this as well.
That as well. Yeah, it's similar principle to that. Is if you really look at all the things you do in your day, I sometimes realize like, how did I think I was busy? Like I really had more than enough time. So yeah, I think that's just another stage in entrepreneurship guys get, especially when they start having responsibility for their own business, is that you have a lot more time than you think. And you can go a lot harder than you think. And I think that's just something that I probably also picked up on in the military. Yeah. Is that your body will keep going. It's your mind that will give up first, like long ago. So You got to be systematic about it. And what do you, like I said before with follow-up, it's just identifying what is the most lucrative thing you can do and what is the most wasteful thing you can do, and doing more of the former and doing less of the latter in your day. And it's just using common sense a lot of the time. It's like, if fundamentally, if sales and sales management is a business of people, the top of your day, depending on your time zone, all that good stuff, but the top of your day should be meeting with your team.
Yeah.
Obviously. You shouldn't be showing up late because you're busy putting out fires, right? Your freshest energy should go with your team. Once they're off, like I'm in Dubai, if the reps are in Australia, I'll be with them all day whilst they're there, because I may have them for 6 hours. When they're gone, then I'll do all the offline stuff that I don't need them there for. That's just like common sense to work with them. So this is something that I always teach managers, but honestly, like working with managers that go from complete chaos, having no structure in their meetings, within about 2 weeks, less, their reps are all telling them that like a night and day change, just because it's that single thing is that they start looking at their data, they don't take the opinion of the rep, saying they need to work on this random objection they never get or they got once. And
my favorite one's like the closers trying to do like the anomaly prospect. When it's like, that's so uncommon. If you focused on this prospect that you keep fumbling, look at your close rate increase by 5% even, look how much money you make.
Exactly. So I just think, it's like looking at their data is you can identify in a setter that he just really sucks at this. He's obviously probably not going to bring it up to you in a meeting, but you work
and also
on that.
they're not aware a lot of the time. Like,
exactly.
They just don't have the experience or knowledge to know that is a thing.
Exactly.
They think.
And then you coach them on it. You give them like 5 call reviews, and it's gone. The problem is gone, and they're another 25% on their income. It's very much a precision job. Is management. Is guys think it's either caretaking or something, and just kind of play they play this endurance game.
From the reps that I've like interviewed, or also like reps that I've ramped that've been on other offers, they say the ex-manager is more of like a hype man and nothing else. He's just like, yo boys, let's fucking
all they're doing is, or worse, all they do is roast the reps. But I just see from an energy standpoint, because we're talking about like efficiency, I just think a lot of managers are like endurance guys, right? They're just there kind of all day doing a little bit of nothing all the time, and they have their meeting, and they just got to like just go water the plants every day. But you don't really need to do that. And it's something that I really learned from Matt, is that it almost felt lazy working with him the first like 3 weeks. He's like, just do this, make this change. That's it. Let's see what happens. You do it, and then the data actually like the lead to booking rate doubles.
Yeah.
And then you're like I feel late, like should I be doing it? And you realize you're literally, we talked about it. You make the job last 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long. It's just because you want to play act. A lot of managers kind of just want to be there.
Or you just want to feel like you're productive when that's the exact opposite. It's like
that's what you got to get out of.
You need to give yourself time constraints and, okay, if I had 4 hours to do the fucking job, then you can do it.
Exactly.
Like, it's just natural soldiering at its finest.
And then ultimately, if we're there to get results, not just look good.
Time's irrelevant, right?
Yeah. It's like, as long as if it takes 4 hours, then you're going to have to do it. But you really just have to, really look at what it does actually take. And it's typically the reason thing takes a long time is because it's not the correct decision.
Yeah.
It takes an hour of thinking, when most people give it 10 minutes of thinking. They're like, oh, this guy, that, I'm going to do this. When it's him, he's not performing. But it's like, if you really sat there and question your own biases, and you know your biases, and you think about it for an hour, and then you go back to old data and stuff like that, and you identify what it is, you have strong principles of addressing the right constraint, and you just put something in place in a disciplined manner where you're not trying to get results tomorrow. You're going to let it wait a week. It'll be fixed, and you only have to solve it once. That's another thing I see more and more why clients just can't miss at the moment, is because we're always calm about the decision. We know it's the correct one. They make that decision once, and then it doesn't need to be relitigated. Because there's another problem that managers have, is they're going back on the old decision that they've made in the past, and they're just doing decision thrash. They keep changing everything. If you're a rep, you know this. There's always managers that just keep changing everything over and over. It's because they didn't pick the legitimately correct decision in the first place. That was a problem. There's also 6 other problems in the business. But because they haven't fixed the main problem, like they try to say improve the show rate, they test something, they're like, oh, this is going to work. And then they conviction smash it with all their reps, like, oh, this is 100% this is going to work. You need to do it. Then it doesn't work. They're like, stop doing it. And then they do it again. But it was never the correct thing. Because I've literally tested across 3 clients the exact same fix to show rate and seen it. Like the two guys that had everything fixed upstream, it worked tremendously. The guy that had a little bit, it wasn't as strong, his funnel upstream, it didn't work as well. And that was the only variable, is that then it has to be re-litigated, either doesn't have much leverage.
Yeah.
But if this is with that client, for example, we just kind of took a pause on the coaching for a bit. He fixed what was upstream, and now it's like effortless to get that results. You only have to see it once, is that your effort is just definitely not causally connected to your results in sales management. Whereas I think in closing, it's like you definitely have to have like a ton of that urgency.
Yeah. But
like,
it's just, you're right. It's just about being pointed and precise.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's it.
I think that's it. Wait, give me a second. I thought I had one more. I mean, I did want to ask you, like, for other people who want to go from closing to managing, what's, from your experience, the best way to actually go about doing that? Because I know lots of closers who, after, like you said, when they hit like this certain income, whether it's usually around the 30K mark or higher, they're kind of like, oh, I can't be fucked anymore. But then they don't know how to go closing. So then they're kind of like perpetually in no, they're making money, but they're not progressing. They're not getting better. They're just coasting.
How do you do it? What's
your advice?
The reality is first thing is you have to be good at closing.
Because you helped me with this. Like at the time, I had no management like opportunity. I mean, I was kind of like on track to do it, but it wasn't a thing yet. You know. But then I was top closer for a while, and then eventually it came through as we were scaling.
Yeah, I think it's this. It's like first thing is you have to be good, right, at closing. Don't do, because I'll like kind of always push the person away a little bit. Is that if they're not, is that don't see management as a way out, as an escape for not having addressed that you're not good at sales.
The amount of fucking people I know who just made like 10K once, then decided to be a growth operator, growth consultant, bro.
Yeah, and you wonder why it doesn't work.
And then they're like losing clients and churn.
Yeah.
Like, I know those guys, and it's
so that also just comes down to like just maturity and like you just gotta realize like there's nothing like, sorry, but like in business, there's nothing about you I know you think that you matter the most to getting rich is the most important thing in your life, but no one cares. It's what you can do for other people. So if you're fundamentally not good, like why would people work with you? So try to get pretty good, right? That's the first thing before you start like jumping over to management. You don't have to be like Jordan Belfort or whatever, but you just want to be pretty good, right? The next thing is to get a management client. One of the biggest things is that it is connections. Yeah, it's warm outreach. And now, do you think it would help if you were a better closer? Because 100%. For example, with Davin, he was just a good closer, and then he kind of went a little viral off that, like those reels.
The objection.
He was ripping prospects. Yeah, and then he had a guy asked him to come and to close for him, and he's like, I don't close anymore. I'm doing management, and he didn't even have a client, and they were like, okay, you can manage, and he got his first management client, and he worked with me, and then he took it from like 0 to 215K cash in the first 30 days, and now he's got a case study if he wanted to use it again. Do you know what I'm saying? So it really only takes that first client to completely escape velocity from every other person trying to get into management. Yeah. And a lot of them were not good at sales. So if you can be good at sales, do a decent degree, and then you have connections.
Yeah, and this is where content can
there's always an opening. Like I've got a client right now who's a PSO client. He manages, but he's got another connection to like a private client that he's going to be able to do some work for. And that was because of his background when he was closing for them at a high level.
Anton?
No. I'll talk about it offline. But he it just comes from being good at sales. I think a lot of it. And it's like, maybe you need to rip off the Band-Aid and invest in coaching for it. But I just think if you are good and you get, if you're actually good and you have a leveraged salesperson's mentality.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, I think there's a certain level of identity shift that you must get to and must go through to be a good closer. It's like when guys who like don't close very often and they be a coach, I always see them at a very low scale, kind of like having to sell like their fucking their little brother's friends.
They go back to coaching.
Then go back to closing.
Closing,
Yeah, and it's the same thing with growth operating as well. So there's a certain level and identity shift that you must go through to be good at closing, which really helps with like the management.
Yeah, I think that. I think also there's a few things, a lot to it, right? It's this space is so much of it. If you don't see that this space is all product-led growth, like unless you want to run ads, like go ahead. but you don't need to if you have great product. Like people talk, like every single person knows each other, like in some way.
Especially in this Australia.
Like every single one of my clients, like you are probably 2 degrees of separation away from, and you could ask them how they're actually doing with me.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard to find out.
I know, like
literally every single
your guys. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like you just have to be good, and then if you stand out, it's a relief. They're like, oh, okay, I need to buy off someone, like, but I don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
But if you're actually good, everyone will just come to you.
But I think that's true. Like for closers watching this, that want to get into like management, I think you need to have the good case study of being a really good closer and the account. Daily in a large team, then you can get connections that way. Because even through me, I have no personal brand. I don't post shit. I stopped posting on Twitter. I have no Instagram, no YouTube. I'm gonna start it.
Yeah.
I have to. Now I say it on camera. I fucking have to now.
Yeah.
But I've been also offered like management opportunities as well, which is like
exactly
huge considering like I don't have a.
You just need separation.
Just network and skill and goodwill, negative ROI. So making sure value first.
Exactly.
Your word comes around, and
that's it. That's another thing. You raise a good point. Is that like yes, have a very good reputation. Do the set, then go from like top closer say to leverage salesperson, which is. All that is that you understand your process to such a deep degree that you're not just jumping in your calls, baby bird, don't do anything to get your people to show up, follow the process someone else did, you've done nothing to optimize, and you're so good at it that you're unconsciously competent and you couldn't, for the life of you, teach someone else. If you can avoid all those things, understand why you're closing so much better than everyone else, and you can create a protocol for that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't an offer owner want 10 of you?
Yeah.
He would love 10 of you. If you can coach it, right? And then you build some of the other skills around it, like some of the stuff you might not have just ever had access to as a closer, like some of the ops stuff. A lot of the time, the founders, like one of the clients that I have right now, he's got his in-house job. He's doing really well. The client he's going to be working with is his like kind of more private client. The belief a lot of the time in the client is that you're just going to be a sales coach. Right? So if you were good at closing, they believe enough that you'll be able to get them results because they just think you're going to be a sales coach.
Yeah.
And you come in and the reality is that you just need to fix things at the process level or some ops stuff. And with the right skills there, you can get great results. So I remember,
think, this is what I was telling.
Yeah.
I got on a call with Vincent and he, I don't know, we just got on a call, we're just catching up and he was just asking me lots of questions about, it was all about like, sales process and fucking objection handling and how do you frame the call and what's your pitch? And I was like, whoa, let's step out a second. Like, let's zoom out. What are your numbers? And then I saw from a flow through perspective, it was like fucked upstream.
So you need to come in and do that. But see, you could literally have like potentially sign that client on the belief that he just needed coaching. He would have started working with you and then you can go in and fix what's upstream.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, people buy wants and need needs. It's very different. So again, if you're just good at sales to the degree you can be a leverage closer, you understand your process, is the degree you can help someone.
Yeah.
It should make very obvious sense that if you could print 10 of you by teaching it, then you're going to be able to get the client results. That and just like nothing beats a great like just a really one good case study with a client where you go above and beyond. And you don't think all about the money in your first client. This is why I asked you that question in the beginning. Is that like, say a guy's making 60K a month, why in his right mind would he take a client in the beginning and make 10K? But that's all the smart ones do. Yeah. They do it for 2 months. They get the client ridiculous results, like so good. And the client's just like, doesn't want to let them go. And then they just ask for more. And the client's like, feels stupid saying no.
Yeah, no shit.
And either way, even if the client said no, which none of them do, you would have a ridiculous case study to leverage and get more clients. It's like Hormozy talks about. So you just need, I think another thing people need to do if they're going to go from closing to managing is they need to think long.
100%.
And then you'll be so, because there's a ton more closers. There's even a lot more good closers than there are good managers.
Yeah.
So once you get into management, you'll have a lot more market share for yourself.
Yeah. Also just the state of high ticket sales. Like so many people are getting into it, appointment setting, closing. The more, when I was, doing like 30K a month at a time. A lot of the guys who we know, and even some of your clients, like they weren't doing that, but now I'm seeing everyone sort of like catch up and doing more and more. So it's like, how do you stay ahead of the curve? Yeah. And for me, I've never hit the crazy 80K month fucking comms that some of your guys have done, right? Yeah. However, I kind of took that risk and put my chips in and kind of like got ahead of the curve. So now I even have closing offers here, there, but like even just random people that I get connected with, a connection call, or I'm interviewing them. If I don't, it's funny. I interviewed some guys and they weren't necessarily the best fits, and I kind of just told them up front. And then they kind of asked questions that I kind of like systematically broke down the numbers. Okay, this is what you're doing. This is what you need to do. This is your constraint. You need to do this specific role play. You need to review this part of the call.
Yes.
And then the guy's like, so do you do like one-on-one coaching? Like, can we work together?
Yeah.
Yo, I was fucking trying to interview you.
Yeah, you could have closed on it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Exactly.
I declined it.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I think, if you
It's the principles of just like, value.
Yes, I know. I keep
being
going back
fucking
to it
good,
over and over,
yeah.
but if you're just better, or like Peter Thiel talks about, it's just like if you're literally 10 times better than the next person, you have you escape competition.
Yeah.
And you literally just choose how you want your content to look, how you want your business to be, and it's actually comes a lot more like creativity. Like you can just have your offer like this because it's fun. So I'm not one for like Jedi mind tricks marketing and all that stuff. It's exhausting, to be honest. I just want to literally know that I don't really have to try. All I have to do is fulfill for clients, and they're going to go sell for me. It makes it a lot easier. You do 2 in 1, you know? So if you're ever thinking about starting a business or managing, see closing through the lens of being a business owner.
Yeah.
How would you run your own business day to day if all you could do is the actions of a closer? How well would you like treat the prospects?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So give it the same level of laser-like focus.
Yeah, like
and no doubt you'll crush. You build you get a leverage, you get a case study, whether it's from your first client or you've been able to protocolize you as a top closer. It'd be enough to get a small small client on management, and then you can, and then from there it just goes like that.
Yeah.
You just start getting better and better clients, and if you're an existing manager, you probably need to. I just say as a principle, in almost every case, you just need to look at the foundations of your system, of what you're doing, your systems and your skills. You do that. You look upstream and more than you look downstream, and you're probably gonna get 10 times better the results. And then if you ever want to launch your own business, all of the things you've ever done from day one in setting to closing are always going to be of use.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video valuable. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I check every single one. And if you're someone who wants speed and real implementation, whether you're a founder, a sales manager, or even a closer who wants to level up, there's links in the description where you can book a call and apply to actually work with me directly. And if you want to keep learning, here's the next video I recommend. You can watch it now.